Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today's question is quite an interesting one and a difficult one from Robert Burton, KD4YDC. He likes to do POTA activations. Now, POTA means Parks on the Air. He goes to a park, which is listed on the POTA website, and that list seems to be growing all the time. But you'll have state parks, national parks, parks in other countries, of course. They can be things like national monuments and so on. There's lots of different things that can count, but he likes to do that. He likes to go to the park. He is an activator as opposed to a chaser. Chaser goes after them and tries to listen to them and so on. And POTA has become very popular. A lot of people like to do it. You can put a mobile HF radio in your car. You can have the antenna on the car, or you can set up an antenna and so on. Now, the problem that we're having here that Robert is concerned about is that in campgrounds, there are lots of devices that make RF noise. These come from, the national park campsites sometimes don't have everything, and you end up what's called boondocking, just being by yourself. So usually they'll provide electricity. So there are inverters, there are all sorts of power supplies, all sorts of radios, even television, satellite dishes, and so on, all of which generate electrical noise. And what the problem that Robert is having here is trying to use his ICOM 706 Mark II-G in this area where there's a lot of noise. Now, the problem with RF noise coming through an antenna is it's just like any other signal. You can use noise reduction techniques, such as trying your noise blanker if it's impulse noise. That may help, but noise blankers were made for something that was a problem many years ago and don't do much good against today's noise. So you've got to remember, I think, that a lot of this noise is very low level, doesn't travel very far. And so if you can in any way move your vehicle while you are operating away from the campground, you'll probably have much better luck. A lot of parks are located in relatively RF quiet areas. So you can go down to a city park or something like that, and you don't have a lot of buildings full of computers all around you. So space is one way that can help you to do this. It is also possible to put up a directional antenna. For example, if you use a mag loop, the mag loop in the vertical position like this, when you look at the loop like this, there's a hole in propagation right through the beginning. So if you can point that loop like this directly at the source of noise, you can possibly minimize the source of noise. Of course, if you have a whole bunch of sources of noise, that makes that very difficult to find success with. So, yeah, you can try repositioning your antennas. If you're using a dipole, like a buddy pole, put it end on toward the noise because it has less sensitivity at the ends. But I think your best bet is, if your operating hours, if it is possible, to move your vehicle away from the campsite for the time that you're operating and operate from one of the parking lots around the park or something like that. I'm thinking of our closest national park here, which is Black Canyon National Park, or Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. And it does have a camping area. And why anyone would want to camp there's a little bit beyond me, because it's blazing hot desert. But in any event, there's a scenic drive along the campground, and some of these spots are pretty large. And you can just pull in and while you're in your car operate. You're not camping when you're doing this. You're just got your car parked and you're playing with your radio. And then you can go back to your campsite, to your tent or your camper or whatever. So I don't know, there's some ideas. I would like to invite you to contribute your ideas in the comments, because I know there are a lot of you out there who are experienced POTA-ers. Is that potatoes? I don't know. But you've got experience with doing this sort of thing. Tell us what works for you. So there you have it. If you'd like to support this channel financially, you certainly may do so. Go to patreon.com /KE0OG and you'll get right there into Patreon. Also, we have a giveaway every month, and if you go to dcasler.com/giveaway, you will find more information about how to enter for that. We try to do something of value. This month's giveaway is where? There it is a little RSPDX SDR Play radio. This is a very fine radio. It's in its own metal case, and it will receive from 0.1 kilohertz all the way up, 0.1 kilohertz, 1 kilohertz, all the way up to 200 megahertz. It's pretty amazing, and it has beautiful waterfall displays and everything. So that's something you can take a look at. Each month we do something different. That's for August 2022. So, until we next meet, 73.